What's up, Trend Pop fam? Get ready for a whirlwind of the hottest news hitting the headlines. First up, we're diving deep into the controversy surrounding Jimmy Kimmel. After making some comments that have stirred up a major storm, Kimmel's show has been pulled, and the fallout is huge. We've got all the details on what sparked this unprecedented situation and who's weighing in. But the story doesn't stop there. Donald Trump has officially entered the chat, and he's not holding back. Trump is sharing his take on why Jimmy Kimmel was taken off the air, and his explanation is raising eyebrows. Is it about talent, ratings, or something else entirely? We break down Trump's statements and what they mean. And then, a true heavyweight enters the ring, Barack Obama. The former president has just issued a scathing critique of the situation, slamming the Trump administration's actions. Obama is calling this a dangerous escalation and is speaking out forcefully about free speech. We'll explore his powerful words and the implications. Finally, we're peeling back the layers to look at the serious allegations of government censorship. Is the FCC using its power to silence critics, and did ABC cave to pressure? We're breaking down the evidence and what it means for free speech in America. Stick around and make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell on so you catch all the breaking updates. Free speech under fire. Jimmy Kimmel's show pulled amidst political firestorm. Call Jimmy Kimmel naive. In an interview this summer, when asked if he worried about the Trump administration coming after comedians, Kimmel expressed a hope that even those on the right would support his right to free speech if targeted. He acknowledged it might be naive but stated, "I have the hope that if and when the day comes that he does start coming after comedians, that even my colleagues on the right will support my right to say what I like." Now, with Jimmy Kimmel Live. Off the air, the MAGA-verse has reacted with glee, not the outrage Kimmel had hoped for. Donald Trump himself reveled in the news, posting on social media that the ratings-challenged Jimmy Kimmel show is canceled. Vice President J.D. Vance playfully suggested Marco Rubio as the new host, while podcaster Benny Johnson highlighted Kimmel's past comments about Trump potentially going to jail. The narrative from the political right often centers on Kimmel's comments about the killing of Charlie Kirk, with conservative figures like Greg Gutfeld suggesting Kimmel deliberately and misleadingly blamed Kirk's allies. However, this perspective often overlooks the FCC's alleged involvement. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr explicitly threatened ABC and its affiliates, stating, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way." These companies can find ways to change conduct and take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead. This pressure seemingly led major station groups like Nexstar and Sinclair to stop airing Kimmel's show, prompting ABC to suspend production. Public reaction has been sharply divided. While some on the right celebrated the suspension, figures like former Fox anchor Megyn Kelly posted, "Good riddance," arguing that Kimmel had crossed a deadly serious line. Meanwhile, free speech advocates and some media outlets are decrying the situation as government censorship, questioning how the Trump administration's actions align with stated support for the First Amendment. Ana Gomez, an FCC commissioner, stated, "This administration is increasingly using the weight of government power to suppress lawful expression." Don't go anywhere, the political drama is far from over. Next, we'll hear directly from Donald Trump himself on why he believes Jimmy Kimmel was taken off the air. Trump weighs in, was Kimmel fired for talent or free speech? Donald Trump has weighed in on the controversy surrounding Jimmy Kimmel's show being pulled from the air, stating that Kimmel was fired because of bad ratings more than anything else, and also for saying a horrible thing about a gentleman called Charlie Kirk. Speaking alongside UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer during a press conference in the UK, Trump asserted, "Kimmel is not a talented person. He has very bad ratings more than anything else, and they should have fired him a long time ago." He framed the situation by saying, "You can call that free speech or not, he was fired for lack of talent." Trump's comments come after Kimmel was taken off air by ABC following remarks he made on air about the accused killer of Charlie Kirk. Kimmel had stated, "We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it." While Kimmel was scheduled to qualify his comments the following night, he was removed from the air beforehand. This incident is viewed by some as part of a broader trend of anti-free speech developments in American television, especially following Disney and Paramount settling lawsuits with Trump. During his trip to the UK, Trump also spoke about defending free speech, committing to a movement to defend the glorious traditions of freedom of speech on both sides of the Atlantic. He mentioned that many British citizens, including Prime Minister Starmer, had offered condolences for Kirk's death, and that he would be attending a memorial service. Trump emphasized the importance of standing together for fundamental rights, noting, "Just last week, an American was assassinated for speaking his mind. He was a great young man with an incredible future." But is that the whole story? We're about to hear from a former president who disagrees strongly. Barack Obama is stepping in with a powerful statement on this situation. Obama condemns Trump admin's role in Kimmel's suspension, a dangerous level for free speech. Former President Barack Obama has sharply criticized the Trump administration's actions in the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live, labeling it a new and dangerous level of threatening media companies to silence or fire individuals. Obama stated on X, "After years of complaining about cancel culture, the current administration has taken it to a new and dangerous level by routinely threatening regulatory action against media companies unless they muzzle or fire reporters and commentators it doesn't like." He linked to a report describing the Kimmel suspension as Trump's most brazen attack on free speech yet. The suspension of Kimmel's show by ABC followed comments he made on air regarding the killing of Charlie Kirk. Kimmel stated, "We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it." Shortly after these remarks, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, a Trump appointee, reportedly threatened ABC, saying, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct and take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead." This threat was followed by major ABC affiliate station groups, Nexstar and Sinclair, announcing they would stop airing Kimmel's show, leading ABC to pause production indefinitely. In contrast to Obama's strong condemnation, Donald Trump celebrated the move, calling it great news for America, and stating Kimmel was canceled due to zero talent and worse ratings. Trump also criticized late-night hosts Jimmy Kimmel and Seth Meyers as total losers. The actions have sparked debate among media watchdogs and civil liberties advocates, with many pointing to the speed of the network's capitulation to FCC pressure as a significant blow to free speech principles. We've heard from the hosts and former presidents, but what does actual government censorship look like? Get ready for a deep dive into the mechanics of this controversy. Government censorship in action: how FCC threats pulled Jimmy Kimmel off air. This is what actual government censorship looks like. It's not just about online backlash or advertisers pulling out. It's the federal government threatening a broadcast network's license unless they silence a critic, and the network immediately caving. Jimmy Kimmel was pulled off the air indefinitely following comments made on his show about the murder of Charlie Kirk. On September 11th, Kimmel's show addressed the murder, calling it senseless and horrible and monstrous, while also criticizing Trump's response. However, on the following Monday's show, Kimmel remarked, "We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it." He also made a joke about Trump's reaction to the news. This comment triggered a swift response. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, within 48 hours, called Kimmel's comments the sickest conduct possible and threatened ABC. "We can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct and take actions on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead." This threat, which essentially meant firing Kimmel or risking their broadcast license, led Nexstar Media Group and Sinclair to immediately announce they would preempt Kimmel's show on their affiliates. ABC then pulled the show indefinitely. This rapid capitulation, without investigation, highlights how government pressure can silence political satire. Even conservative groups like the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression noted. The FCC has no authority to control what a late-night TV host can say, and the First Amendment protects Americans' right to speculate on current events, even if those speculations later turn out to be incorrect. The situation is further complicated by the fact that right-wing media had also engaged in speculation, with some baselessly blaming transgender individuals for the murder. Kimmel's comment was essentially pointing out the rush to distance themselves from the shooter by the MAGA gang. As FCC Commissioner Ana Gomez stated, this administration is increasingly using the weight of government power to suppress lawful expression. The speed at which this unfolded, from a comedian's joke to a network's indefinite suspension due to government threats, is seen by many as a chilling example of modern censorship. And that's a wrap on our top stories for today. But before you go, let's quickly recap the biggest moments. That was a whirlwind of breaking news. We saw Jimmy Kimmel's show suspended amidst a political storm, Donald Trump offering his take on ratings and talent, and Barack Obama strongly condemning the actions as a dangerous attack on free speech. We also examined the alarming allegations of government censorship and FCC pressure. What a roller coaster!